another episode 8 I think, to Travel the Darkroom. I'm Christopher, your host as normal. Today we have another special guest, Sean. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Sean Brazen, my first year here at Solent. I met Chris a week or two ago. He asked me to come on the podcast to talk about... Do you want to describe what we're talking about today, mate?
We're going to be talking about how originality and being original is kind of difficult, especially when there's so many like either photographs or movies or stuff you can take influence from, and it's just a lot more difficult to be original when everybody wants you to be original.
Yeah. It's like a seeming, like, it's like a topic out there, isn't it, where it's like originality is the key to life, but it's so difficult to do nowadays, especially in like the modern world, and everyone's so interlinked and connected, and it's like, you do one thing and you're like, oh, I did this, it's my idea, and then someone will bring up another thing and be like, hang on, you drew from there, what's going on here? And
well, it's even in like the music industry, the art industry, because when you look at paintings, the Rembrandt lighting, that's taken from paintings. And people have decided to do that with photography. It's still, in a way, original because he didn't do it with photography, but it's still copying a painting necessarily.
Another piece of content.
So
it's one of those weird ones, isn't it? And it's like, people try so hard to be original, and I think there's a difference between originality and style, because I would say podcasts, it's not original at all, but the style of the podcast, that's original.
Yes, and the content.
Yeah, and the content that you do on the podcast.
Yeah, because the original idea with this name, Travel the Darkroom, was to bring in both photography and darkroom and film, because my co-host, they can't make it here, due to she's doing dissertations and all that, like big stuff.
Stuff going on.
Yeah, so that was why the darkroom side, but then travel, I was thinking long term, because both me and her has travelled and countless of my friends have travelled, so we're also going to be talking about that later down the road. And plus, I'm leaving the country in literally a couple of days.
Milan, isn't it?
No, I'm going to Turkey.
Turkey, I knew it was one of those countries over in Europe somewhere.
A little bit further east.
Is it a little bit further? Oh,
yeah,
well.
It's more like Syria, that side.
Oh, jeez.
That's up there.
Yeah, that's a bit further out than what I was expecting. Yeah.
But that's where there's a lot of just dedicated travel. There's a lot of dedicated photography podcasts where I was trying to combine the two, and I saw nobody was really doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And as you say, I've heard stories from you, countless stories about your travelling experience and things like that. So it isn't like me and my family went to Greece one day and. Yeah, you've lived that life for a bit, you have the knowledge and the background.
Even like travelling photos, doing that, or travelling vlogs, or anything like that is all being done. Yeah. So it's kind of difficult to just, let's try to be original when you just, otherwise you get the accuse of like, oh, you're being just like so-and-so.
Yeah, being like another person in the space. And
where
it's like,
you could actually be completely different.
Because everyone's fighting for attention, and everyone's thinking that, like, originality is the way, and it's like, no, you've got to feed off other people's concepts and ideas to then be your own person and things like that. Like, you can't just like, everything has been known now. Well, not everything, there are still things unknown, but like, you know what I mean? Like the big things, like, name aware of transport, cars, but how are you going to improve on that? So you've got like Tesla main electric cars and stuff. That's a way of being original with the style and things like that. And it's like, you know, everyone's fighting for the attention and saying that like dragging each other down, practically being like, no, you had to try and be original, even though it's so difficult.
I also think that's because of people just trying to, like you're saying, drag everybody down. It's because they can't be original. Yeah. Like there's a difference between copying somebody and there's a difference between using somebody as reference.
Yeah, like inspiration and copying.
Yeah,
two totally different things. The lines get blurred, I feel.
Yeah, today's day and age, like you when you see, like when you search up on YouTube, just things like, how to edit like so-and-so. Yeah. There's loads of people editing like showing you how to edit like so-and-so.
Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, all of them, how to edit their style.
And you see the comments, if they've seen it, they're like, we do it slightly differently, but it's still, you're trying to re-edit. And you're not being original in that sense. You can grab inspiration. That's why they sell their Lutz packs and their packs. It's not so they can just, here you go. It's sort of like a foundation to understand how they edit, so you can create your own style.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
It's like, use us as inspiration, and go forward and make your own content, your own style, your own, as if we're going to use the colour packs like LUTs and things like that, use your own LUTs, but, you know, get the inspiration off us.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I get what you mean. It's a complicated one, isn't it? I'd say.
Yeah, no, that's why I kind of saved this one, because
Yeah.
it is also, like, everybody is either spouting on be original or just copy somebody, or just, it's just either or, and it just doesn't make sense why people, bash anybody.
Yeah, like, as I said, try and drag each other down.
Yeah, because, like, being original is hard.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, especially when, like, everything is done.
Yeah, it was like
in one way or another.
There was a South Park episode about it where Butters tries to like make a villainous plan, but every time he makes a plan, someone in the episode is like, Simpsons did it.
Yeah.
And then he makes another plan, and it's like, well, the Simpsons did that in this episode, and it's like, he can't come up with his own original idea because another show did it. So this is now linking into like TV shows, like...
Yeah, because you're coming from more of a TV
Yeah, I'm coming in from
film.
more of like a TV film angle, so I'm saying like, you've got like How I Met Your Mother, one of my personal favourite sitcoms.
Yes, I've watched all the episodes.
Yeah, it's one of the best sitcoms, I think. But then I'm like, it's the best. I'm stapling it down as the best. It's so good. And then people are like, hang on a minute, Friends did it.
Friends, as well as there was another TV show, and it was back in the early 90s, where it used to be a bar, and it used to go, it was like McCullen's Bar, or something like that, and it would all be like in a bar.
It.
Yeah, it would all be in a bar, and it's literally all of How I Met Your Mother is in a bar in a booth.
Yeah.
And that's where McLaren.
It's something like New York.
Yeah,
and it's like
New
Irish,
York's like an Irish bar. Yeah. And like that's where you can see where they've taken that influence from.
Yeah, exactly.
But the whole comedic sort of thing, you can see where they've taken from. Like you said, Friends.
Yeah. Well, I was watching it, and so I started watching Friends now. I absolutely adore How I Met Your Mother, and I still think it's up there with my favourite TV shows. But I've been convinced into watching Friends recently, and it's like the character types link so the same. You've got Barney Stenson, who's like this womanizer type character, and then you've got Joey, who's meant to be the womanizer, and you can just tell how they've like picked apart people's personalities from that show and put it into this show. And it shows that originality is there, but it is inspired by other things.
So now, going back to what you were saying, you can be inspired, but not carbon copy. They didn't carbon copy McLaren's Bar or Friends.
Yeah.
They took inspiration and kind of developed their own style and their own story and their own like sort of...
Like another example, Rick and Morty. You've got the Doc and you've got Morty. And then that's meant to come off Doc Brown and Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
Oh, now I see that.
So that's where like one of the main inspirations for there came from. But it's a totally different show, but you've just got these two basic foundations of you've got a Doc with crazy inventions and a Doc with crazy inventions, and then two teenagers. So it's inspired from that.
About that. Yeah, now I see that actually. Yeah, no, when you actually, even movies, like, how many Batmans and how many Jokers have we had now?
I want to say 6 Jokers, Heath Ledger, Jackie.
Oh, if you're going back to the 80s,
well, Jack Nicholson, 3.
5 Jokers. 5 Jokers we've had.
Wow.
But you look, even back the 80s, you looked at now, they've all taken their own spin.
Oh, 100%. Jared Leto, another one, but not the best.
Yeah, that's debatable with that movie.
Like, going to watch this new Joker, there's a whole argument. This is another brilliant thing, and it's like, this argument is always going to be around, and it's going to get more and more harder to fight for the fact that originality isn't dead the more you get into the future, because obviously there's going to be more ideas, more things.
Well, when I studied fashion back in sixth form, and I talked on my last podcast, it was like one of my sixth form classes that I failed.
Yeah.
But we started discussing how fashion even comes back again, because now you're getting like flare pants and bomb pants.
I'm currently wearing Oswego's, which are like revamped from the 90s.
Yeah.
And then I've got
it's all fashion that becomes redone in a different way for today's generation.
100%.
And when Glee first came out and they did that song from the band Boston.
I've never seen it.
That band was back in the 60s, 70s.
Okay.
But when Glee did it, everybody thought it was a brand new song.
Yeah, it was like a hit.
And it was
off this.
Something on the feeling, or something like that. But it's again being revamped, redone, and even in today's music, there's some sort of things that you can pick up. Oh, it sounds very 60s, or sounds very 70s, and it's
100%.
just they've taken a spin off of it, but you can see where they're taking inspiration.
I get what you mean. Especially with clothing, because I do like my shoes and things like that, and I'm noticing a trend recently with like Nike and Adidas and things like that, where they're taking that old retro shoes from like the 90s and stuff, and they're bringing it back for a modern audience.
Yeah.
And it's like that sort of thing where it's like, there's another argument here where it's like, why are you using your old concepts instead of making new concepts? Well, the old concepts work so well, let's use them, but then that isn't being original. So like that's why they're bringing back Terminator, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they know Terminator's a successful thing that will make them money, so let's make another movie and another movie.
Yeah.
Same with Fast and Furious, and I feel like, I don't want to say this because I love the Marvel movies.
No, go for it.
But I feel like after Endgame, it's getting to that point now where it's just like money, 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 and then you see movies like The Joker, and it's like, wow, like it isn't that sort of like based on money. Like they wanted it to tell a story.
Yeah.
Off an original sort of, I know it isn't original because it's from the Joker and it's from his comic book
originally
character.
comic book.
Yeah, but it's like an original sort of
Spin on it.
departure. Yeah, it hasn't been done before. Where it's
Yeah.
just a single Joker movie. Where now superhero movies are getting to that point where it's just like how many have we had this year? I want to say maybe like
Superhero?
5. Yeah, like 5, 6.
Yeah.
How many coming up next year and things like that? Like, it's starting to get less original.
Yeah,
like
because
it's not a hit.
Yeah, you need to have that. Like, okay, let's find. And they try to do that with the Shazam movie.
Yeah.
That was a just flop.
Yeah,
Sorry to say.
I
saw the trailer. I saw the trailer. I was like, no.
I watched it in cinema. It was okay, but it seemed like a very too sudden, especially when you look at the universe of how dark it was, and then it goes, oh no, we're not making money. Boom, comedy. Let's see what this is doing. Comedy. Let's get inspired from the Marvel movies, which have a bit more humor in. Put too much humor in, it kind of.
And I mean, also you think about it, like how many times have they reinvented Spider-Man?
I want to say 3 now.
3?
Yeah, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, 3 times.
Tom Holland. So 3 times.
I think the Maguire was the best.
Really?
Yeah, he was the closest.
Spider-Man 1 and 2 were the best, I think, but like Spider-Man 3 was not good. Spider-Man 2 is meant to be one of the greatest movies of all, like one of the greatest superhero movies, or like Spider-Man movies.
I'm going on like how, because I watched when I was a kid.
The Sam Raimi ones.
The one where
the
he
first
kills his girlfriend in the second one.
The Amazing
the clock
one.
tower.
Oh yeah, the Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, with Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield. He portrayed Spider-Man, I think, the best. Because out of all, like, I'm coming back from when I read the comics, I'm also coming back from when I read or watched the TV animated series.
Yeah.
Like, he portrayed him the closest,
I
would say. Where the first one, no.
Yeah. What, you mean, I feel like he was too old. He seemed more like a college student. He's meant to be a high school student.
Yeah.
So, like, he was too old.
But even that, they've tried to take what's from the comic books and revamped it into their own spins. Because each one of them has a different spin. And you look at the most recent one, getting gadgets from Iron Man and stuff like that.
And in the comics, he makes them himself. He's meant to be smart instead of being like hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
Not hand-me-downs, but like, here's money, go off and...
So even in the movie industry, it's carbon copies.
Yeah.
But now their own style of editing, their own color grading, their own way of shot lists are completely different to one another. And you can see, like, you think, the guy that does Transformers, Michael Bay.
Yeah.
You see any Michael Bay movie, you know there's guaranteed to be big explosions, action, jam-packed, like close-up camera shots of cars, literally on the tire, just about.
All of that, like,
But
hero fighting against a world that's blowing up around him.
Yeah, that's his style. So in a way, he has his own style, but he's taken something that's not original and just developed it into his own style.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need to really understand with like photography or like you can take inspiration and then just create your own style.
You can still have, as much as originality is dead and no photo, like if I take a photo, I'm looking at an iron board, if I take a photo of an iron board, there's going to be millions. But if I take a really like unique perspective, artistic interpretation of an iron board, which sounds stupid because it's an iron board, but I've just picked an easy topic here, that's original. As much as it isn't original because it's an iron board, and it's original because it's my style, it's my unique touch and my flavour on it and my interpretation of it all. So.
Yeah, because everybody can shoot one thing, like, you can lay it up to going back to the ironing board, everybody might just take it line up.
Yeah.
Where I would maybe lie it down, put the fill the focus really short and really shallow depth of field.
Yeah.
Have it lying down, and then just have that one like letter.
Yeah.
Because the ironing board cover has letters
Yeah,
on it,
yeah.
and maybe have one letter in focus and the rest blurred
And
out. So you don't actually know
out.
if it's an ironing board or not.
Yeah.
It's
up to your interpretation of what it is.
Yeah.
With the basic, they could be an ironing board.
Yeah, or something else.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's how I would shoot it, completely different to everybody else. But yeah, it is, like you say, it's still an ironing board. It's still like, what if you probably search up photo ironing board, you probably have loads.
Yeah.
And I could, that's... I completely get where you're coming from.
I feel like it's the same with like, there's so much stuff like YouTubers, for example. You've got commentating YouTubers and everyone's like, you're not being original here, you're just commenting over the video and stuff like that, but it's the style.
Commentating, you know? Game, Let's Players.
Yeah, Let's Plays and things like that, let's say, or like, say if me and you had a fight and your roommate Jordan like commentated it, and then someone else commentated it, it's just like, hang on, you've done the exact same as what Jordan's done here, but you've just given your interpretation, but it's your interpretation that makes it unique. What you're thinking in your head is what gives the originality, in a sense, like your own unique thoughts and flavours. Spin it, yeah. So.
Yeah, no. Like going back to like everybody is trying to has done it already. Like going back to like Let's Players. Like how many Let's Players are out there, and or like how many Let's Players because of comments and because of people like just like whatever like Red Brad or Game Grumps, or you're just being like them.
Yeah, Game Grumps, you're just being like the old
and or like PewDiePie or anybody like that. So that then deterrents the person trying to be original, where they might have like grown up watching these people, watching these.
It's kind of sad. It's like a form of like, as I say, bringing someone down, because you can put all your time and effort into creating content and creating media for something, and you can be so excited about it, and then read one comment being like, hang on a minute, you're copying this person, stop it. And it's like, no, I'm taking inspiration, I'm trying to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And it can stop, it can halt you, it can you know, take effect on you.
Yeah, that's why I think a lot of people like don't want to either write their own music or put out photos that they might worry about it not being original, even to the point that either editing or when everybody searches up like anywhere I've travelled, like Seville or anything like that, they all see photos of Plaza de España, and like everybody shot Plaza de España, but I've shot it differently, and I don't care about if people say, you're being a little bit like this, a little bit like that. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I never heard the person, or if I heard the person, thank you, I've
exactly.
But that's the way I've been sort of brought up, and like that's what you need to do. Where I feel like a lot of these people are scared to do that, and scared to just either write their music, put art out there,
do their own or artistic sort
movies,
of movies,
or even start a YouTube channel. Like I don't know how many YouTube channels I've started, how many variations of channels I've started,
styles,
and it's like
that.
it's just you progress and you build. I wouldn't say like a thick skin, but it's just.
I get where you're coming from, yeah.
Yeah, you sort of.
Yeah, I feel like creativity is sometimes halted by others who are like like you've taken inspiration from this place, or you've taken. I've lost the word. You know what we're talking about?
Yeah, it's like being original.
Yeah, being original. Like creativity for some people is how, back as you were saying, like some people want to make music, some people want to be photographers, everything under the sun. But it's like, hang on a minute, you know, you're taking
you have to
too much from someone else.
In a way, you have to go through that process of trying to slightly emulate people that you admire, love, and
to come out as your own person.
To find your own style.
Yeah.
Like I have been watching these guys, Chris and Becky on YouTube, and like their Instagram is like very dark, moody, and stuff like that. And I love that sort of style, and that's why a lot of I haven't posted recently because I've been super busy, but like a lot of my most recent photos are like super moody, but not as moody as them. But then I'm also taking inspiration from Peter McKinnon in the sense that when you look at his Instagram, he goes through seasonal sort of changes. And I find it very difficult because the weather over here is so up and down. And I want those like almost like when you look at a leaf on the ground, you can feel it like snap. Where lately it's been raining like constantly, it's just been soggy. So I've been trying to go seasonal, but still keep that dark, moody style to it. So I'm combining both, creating my own, if that makes sense. But I've only done that because I've admired.
You've admired these other people that have, if the word inspired you to do this.
Yeah. And I think that's the same. Like, I think a lot of, like, in university, you go and read books, you go and read magazines, you go and read, and they
that's
try
people's literature, though.
Yeah,
that's another thing. It's like, you go to university and, like, for my course, I don't really have to read books, but I can imagine for, like, law and things like that, or
look at pictures, or look at movies.
Ones where you study. So say like film studies, look at these other people. So like Martin Scorsese or Steven Spielberg and people like that. And it's like, go look at their content, see what makes it so great. But then that isn't like telling people to be original. That's like, look at theirs, write about why theirs is it, and then maybe you'll get set like a film task. And because you've watched them, you're inspired by that. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like there's a way in education they need to kind of change the format without changing it too far, if you get me, to make people be more original. So instead of being like, look at these films, as much as it is good to look at those films, analyse what makes them good films, and then make your own film, it's more just like, make your own film first, watch this film, like, report on that film, then look at the film you made first, and analyse what makes that film so good and what you did wrong, to then make your own content even better. And like inspired, as we're saying.
Yeah, no, I do get that, because even when I did art history and art for like throughout my education, like it was always, do a shell the way like Monet did, or do a painting like Monet, or several of the other artists that we had to study and look at, and Picasso and all that, and it's like, well,
I want to do my own.
Yeah, I want to do my own, and sort of kind of create my own.
Yeah, you want to feel out how your style, your sort of like vision before looking at other people, because like it's one of those things where it's like I used to hate this in secondary school when we're in like English and there would be like creative writing tasks and your teacher would be like, okay, I'm gonna start a story. A boy was walking to school and then this happened. Go off from that, but you're not allowed to use my story starter, use something else. But then because you've been inspired by that, you're kind of stuck for words because you've got your. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's like a really awkward way of putting it, but it's like, I feel like you should be taught your own, well, not even taught, you should find out your own vision before dragging from other sources and things like that.
Yeah, no, I do.
Even though it is hard because inspiration, source is your own thing, but you should at least try and like...
But have you always been very creative?
Yeah.
Same with myself. Now, is the curriculum set up for people that are coming into photography or film, TV making or media or whatever, because there's multiple different courses in that umbrella. Is the courses maybe presented the way they are for people that don't have that creativity background, if that's an actual word, creativity?
I know what you mean though, like if they don't have the...
Like the eye.
Okay, let's just
make a movie or to take a photo. Yeah. Because that is like very much.
Everyone has the eye, if we're using that as the expression here. Like everyone has that eye, but some people are more like scared and have more like fears and concerns about using that eye, using that source of creativity from their own mind. People are scared of using it because of things like being dragged down, being told they're not good enough, being told they just can't do it and things like that. When realistically, you should just go do it. Everyone has that creative vision, and there's people there, and you meet them and like, no, I don't have a creative bone in my body, and it's just like, you do though, like everyone has that.
You're coming from it can be taught.
It can be taught to people who, so it can,
because I also feel that it's either, it can be taught, or you're just naturally born with it.
Yeah.
Because when I walk around, I'm always thinking compositions. Like when you mentioned the ironing board, I immediately was firing away in my head like what I could do. And like composition, the way the shot, the f-stop, all of that already going on in my head. And like that's on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, with anything that you look at.
And would that be the same for you? Like if you're walking the street, you're like probably thinking, oh, this would be a great, like either music video place to shoot there or...
I would say that as well. Like for example,
is that coming naturally though, or is it coming from references that you've seen?
Oh, and that's the argument, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I want to say naturally, But obviously, I've been growing up watching TV shows. I've grown up watching movies. I've grown up from this, so it could well be from
that archive. Of just knowledge.
Yeah, just from the back of my head, like my subconscious telling me, "Oh, this shot would be brilliant." Not knowing that back in my mind when I was 5, I watched this TV show that I have a natural liking to, and that's why I like the show. If you get me. But
that's the problem. It's like
it's kind of like a.
Is it an archive from when you don't even remember, or is it just natural? That's now.
This is. Yeah. It's going a little off topic, but I like it. This is good. It's
Well, it's still talking about being original.
Yeah.
Because, again, like not even like we're doing like editing and all that. That's what we've been mostly talking about for like 26 minutes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
That's fun, like.
Yeah. But the whole composition of the photo, the whole composition of the video, that is still very
subconscious
much
archive,
like,
as you're saying, or is that just like your natural ability to be like creative and your creative bone and your creative sort of like
because you could have watched like a music video of like a artist in the dark alley or like that moody sort of shot, and then you go somewhere where we live and you see almost the exact same alley but not being the same. But you subconsciously think, oh, that would be a really great place to do like a rap shoot or
I feel like that's the same when linking it back to music. You can listen to a song when you're young, and then that can be your sort of music. So like, let's say rock and roll. You listen to it when you're young. You grow up loving rock and roll, and then when you want to make your own rock and roll, you're sourcing back from that sort of archive subconsciously. And it's like that isn't original, but it is sort of like it's your inspiration. You know, it's your
it's that. It's very like you said at the beginning. Like it's very blurred. The lines can get very blurred when it comes to original.
Yeah, and there's that issue where it's like people use it as like. So you listen to a song, you have some artists who listen to a song like, wow, that's really good, and then they make their own song, and then they get called up on it, being like, hang on a minute, and then they use that sort of scapegoat of, oh, I was trying to be original, I was trying to, I wasn't.
Where they can sometimes clearly see that they've used the same beat.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, well, that's now copying.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you've taken inspiration of maybe the way the song sounded, the way that maybe the artist was trying to make the listener feel, but then create the beat, create the lyrics on your own, then that is being original.
Yeah.
You've just taken inspiration from
another place.
Say it's like a ballad, rock and roll ballad.
Yeah.
And they're usually a lot more softer, a lot more like supposed to tug at your heart.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe I want to write a ballad, God forbid, because I'm musically deaf.
Yeah.
I could take inspiration from like Guns N' Roses and Def Leppard and all of those artists back in the 80s. Take inspiration of like how they wanted to make the listener feel, but then put my own music, my own spin behind it.
You're saying that if you want to do that, they've inspired you to go on your own way, but not inspired you in the sense of like they're
copying them directly, then adding my own lyrics.
It's the emotion sort of thing.
Yeah, the emotion.
Yeah, this is what you want to transfer to your audience.
I think that's where like you need to find that piece with photography, with film, with like fashion, with anything like that. Like, flares are coming back, but they're doing completely different styles. Like flares back in the 80s was very plain, where you might see them maybe with flowers.
Yeah, so going back from what you're saying, I feel like in the future it's gonna get harder to be original, because as we're saying about your subconscious and stuff like that, and I'm starting to lose what I was saying before the cameras cut out for a second, but
that's the problem I'm using DSLR, like they have like 30-minute cut. That's why the podcast has been like 30 minutes.
Yeah. But no, it's like in the future it's going to get harder to be original, because there's going to be that much content out there, and the media, this is what I was going with it. I've got a phone right here, you've got your laptop just here, I'm sure you have your phone on you, right? There's another person in the room, you've got your phone on you.
Yeah, I've got my phone on me.
Yeah.
It's like literally somewhere over there.
Yeah, and there's watches now with media on it.
No, actually I have it with me.
Yeah, there's watches now with media on it 24/7, glasses with media 24/7, and it's like, you're always seeing content, so it's so hard not to be inspired and draw, like, be original, especially when you're seeing
Pinterest and stuff like that.
when you're seeing like kids nowadays who are like 4 with iPads, and it's just like
it does my nut in, but
but it's like they're gonna now grow up in a world where it's like they're constantly seeing other people's stuff. Like I grew up with pen and paper drawing like stuff. I assume you did as well because you're older than me, but like Yeah, but that sort of stuff's going to go out the window.
My mum always used to have like a pen and paper in her handbag or whatever she had, and I would be sitting in a restaurant doodling away. And that's why I did art for so many years.
Yeah, mine was church. I used to hate church. I'm not religious really, but
I was C of E. Like I went to the C of E school.
But it's like that sort of stuff, isn't it? It's like we grew up with pen and paper and our imaginations, like playing outside or playing with like toys and stuff as kids, and like Lego's the most brass one that everyone uses. But you get what I mean there.
We have a whole entire like maybe 6 boxes just full of Lego.
Yeah, and I feel like in the future, give it 10 years, it'll just be iPads and it'll just be like virtual reality and it'll be like AR and VR and all of this sort of stuff that kids grow up with, and it's going to make it so... One way it'll make it better for them to be original, because it's going to be easier for them to get stuff out of their mind. So like with VR you can go into like 3D spaces and paint, which is amazing, but it's not that same. It isn't the same because they're growing up on Instagram, they're growing up on Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, numbers of other like social media.
So there's subconsciously, going back to the subconscious, if it's subconscious or if it's your own creativity.
It's going to be more subconscious.
It's going to be more subconscious.
And it's going to be harder to be like just dead original with it.
Yeah, I never really thought about it that deeply. Yeah. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I probably haven't presented this in the best argument form, but like, that's what I mean. It's like, it's going to be harder.
You were mentioning like you might have seen a TV show back when you were 5, and you might have subconsciously thought about that. Where if for me and you, considering we probably didn't watch that much TV shows or looked at Instagram, or looked at photos, for us to contemplate if it's our own creativity or if it's at the back of our mind, the references that we've looked at. Imagine, like you're saying, like the people that have been brought up and around.
Imagine this argument 10 years time.
It's going to be completely blurred.
Like, swap meeting a lot for people that are going to be our age in 20 years time, and it's going to be totally different, isn't it? They're going to have grown up with like Instagram in their back pocket, or like Twitter in their back pocket, or Tumblr in their back pocket. You know what I mean? Like, that sort of originality is kind of going to slowly fade out. Which is so sad to think about.
And yet people still go on about that you need to be original, you need to be like this, and harp on, like when they see the smallest amount of maybe where they've taken influence, they just hammer down and just like...
dig their healing.
And that is like harboring the person's creativity. Because they might not have realised they did it subconsciously, or they were trying to emulate, and they might have gone a little bit too far, but they were trying to find their own style. And it's stuff like that. So I guess, considering it's 34 minutes, and it's...
We could go on for hours about this.
Yeah, we could easily go on.
If you want to see more, there's going to be millions more podcasts. You know what I mean? It's just, there's loads more arguments about this, there's books about this, there's movies as well. This is just, we've just done like a small chip at an iceberg.
Even like the movie director that did Shaun of the Dead. You know the quick cutscenes?
When he like his...
like when he's throwing throws his tie, throws the flowers in the thing when he gets dumped by his girl, and like that quick cut, like Now there's a couple of people on Instagram, and I've even done that for my quick cut stories. Like very snippets.
I get you.
And I've taken inspiration, but I've taken my own spin on it. So it's everywhere and anywhere. I mean, like you said, we can go on for
could go on for
hours.
And this has been productive though. You know, I feel like
definitely.
We've bounced off each other, and it's
we've hit some areas that I didn't even think about. And
I didn't think we were going to go on. I thought this would be 10 minutes, and then like we'd struggle for stuff to say, but. It's such a big iceberg, and like you chip at it, and it's a whole nother room. You know, it's like you press a button, a room.
It's like a spider web of just, and as you can see in the background behind Sean, it's Halloween.
Woo!
And so
This could go on for hours.
So I guess we'll wrap up. And if you have any creativity blocks or anything like that, or you are debating about if you're being original, if you're not being original, and this whole stigma behind everything needs to be original from the get-go without any inspiration, just put it in the comments. And I will message back, or my co-host, whenever she has the time, will message back. And also, if you would like to see Sean on another episode, I'm more than happy to bring him in, and we can talk about something else. I seem to find very good topics to talk about, and I can make my guest or my co-host talk for hours.
Well, I saw some of the other content, and that you put up, because this is, as you say, like the 7th episode now? 8th or 7th.
Yeah.
But like, I've seen some of the other stuff, and it's like, it's good stuff to be talking about. It isn't just like cheap, like, let's get this over and done with, like, you care about this, and
Yeah, no, because it's something that as creatives we think about like on a constant, like when we put out something, we're like, oh shit, are we being too much like so and so?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it my own style? You start questioning a lot of things, and I think there are a lot of creatives out there, either have been creatives in the industry for a long time, or just starting out creatives, like just starting a YouTube channel, just starting vlogging, or just talking.
They need that reassurance.
In the back of their mind that, am I copying like Casey Neistat or somebody like that?
But they need that reassurance.
To be honest, you're not. You're being original because you're being yourself.
Yeah, you're giving it a try at least. I mean, you're not giving up at the first hurdle where people are like, no, don't do that. Like, there's a million vloggers out there, don't try that. You just need that reassurance.
Yeah, because there's only one Casey Neistat. You are you.
You are your own person.
You come with your own adventures. You come with your own things, your own story, your own complete different person. And I think just ignore everybody else and just do
just be
what
yourself.
you do.
Go ahead and
don't
give up at the first hurdle.
You can take inspiration from people like that because I think that's what they would admire and see that people are taking inspiration. Just watch out when you start accidentally copying, and if it's done once, then fine.
Try not to trick, as we keep saying, this blurred line. Try to stay on the line. Like try and I know it's hard, and I know like I'm probably going to do it in my life. You're probably going to do it in your life. Everyone's going to probably do it in their life and cross that blurred line. But try your hardest to like see clearly, like take the glasses off and see clearly, see where that line actually realistically is, and keep the originality, keep the inspiration. Don't blend them. Don't copy. Don't.
You couldn't have said it better, actually. I mean, we'll leave it at that, and we will see you back in either the comments or another video. So
100%. I'm down whenever you want. Good chat.
Yeah.
Us.